Hi everybody, it's RPG Grandma, and today we're going to talk about Arduin Grimoire, Volume 9, End War. Look at that, those dudes are fighting. That's like two different races in the game, and they're fighting the scorpion. And we got our wizard guy, and he's fighting the horde of ants. Oh, look, he's trying to rescue a buddy down here. Yeah, so we have a mixed party. Front and a Deodimp, and looks like some humans. We don't know who this guy is, though. We don't know what, but he needs help. All right. So, what are the Arduin Grimoires? Well, Arduin is a game. Okay. The Grimoires, on top of um, being a game system, and the trilogy being a game system and adventure, and Arduin adventures and stuff like that. They are also a resource for anybody who plays fantasy role playing games, and they're gonzo by nature. Want to do it? Basically, this is a window into people were doing a lot of stuff that everybody's like, oh, this is new and novel. Everybody like, no, not really. It's in the grimoires. It's in the grimoires somewhere. You just have to read the right one. So these tend to be like collections of articles, classes, monsters, magic, advice, all kinds of stuff. So we got our dudes are having their epic battle here. And the very first little piece of advice or article that's in here, besides our ants are cool. I really like that picture. Sums up the trouble you're in. Is dungeons and why the authorities don't shut them down, which is, someone's eventually going to ask you this if you run dungeons. Why don't they just send the army in? Clean it all out. Wouldn't that be easier and safer for the countryside? Well, maybe not. First of all, if you send your army below ground, your army isn't above ground doing their job, which is protecting your borders. And most kingdoms have enemies. Even if this little area isn't run by a traditional monarchy, they're going to have enemies. Okay? So why the army's away in mass from all over the place, they could be getting invaded. So no government's going to want to do that. The next thing is, if the government did send them down there in mass, who's to say they're going to come back? They could get trapped down there. They could all get wiped out down there. And the bad guys, because we are talking a fantasy role-playing game, could do something like, I don't know, turn them all into a undead army and then send them back up top to the kingdom to invade the kingdom. That would be bad. There's other things they could do, though. I mean, harvest their souls to create some portal to some realm that's going to unleash an even bigger army, or I don't know, in the world, reverse polarities of the sun, whatever. You're not going to want to do that. Yeah, in a fantasy role playing game, you don't want to send folks in that large of a number down in there. It could go bad. And let's say they do disappear down there, and who knows, they were killed, they were captured, and terrible things are being done to them, but nobody comes back. Nobody ever comes back, right? You have an army. You need to now build a new army. Nobody's going to want to go into your army, so you're going to have to draft them all, conscript them, and then you have this disgruntled army with disgruntled peasants, and the one thing they agree on is that you suck. Your government sucks. Okay, so you're talking unrest, possible revolt. No government's going to want to do that. Let's say you send the army down there. They start doing stuff, and they unleash something on the kingdom or on the world. You know, waken the creature that slumbers and all this kind of stuff. You know, you don't want to do that. So caution would indicate don't send a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing down there, and to do the hold my beer and see what happens, and they unleash something. Basically, the government isn't going to want to do that. Now, do the dungeons serve a purpose? Do these underground ruins and these places in your game serve a purpose that a kingdom would be willing to tolerate? Yeah, they do. Your troublemakers, your risk takers, your independent types, the people who are always mucking around with stuff. If most of them disappear because they go over to Area X, okay, and then that annoying guy is gone, it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the kingdom. And then if they come back from Area X, you get to have part of their treasure. Or maybe you confiscate the whole thing. Because, that was a forbidden zone. You weren't supposed to go to Area X. And yeah, we're taking all the stuff you got out of Area X, but we're going to let you live. Yeah, governments do that kind of stuff, right? And finally, if all the unpleasantries in their kingdom, unpleasant people, unpleasant monsters, weird things are attracted to Area X, I'm just going to call it Area X, then, that dungeon, that ruin, etc., those specific areas, then you have a clue that when things start getting weird in your kingdom, oh, it's probably coming from Area X. Quick, get the adventurers together. Get Shaggy, Scooby, and the kids and the mystery machine and send them over there and find out what's going on. Get some mercenaries, get some exploration team together, right? And send them over, If they come back and tell us something useful, great. In the meantime, we can move some troops around and create a little buffer zone and keep that contained, but we'll send some inquisitive types that way. So that's what you're looking at. And, kingdoms could have a lot of reasons for even not even knowing that a dungeon or an underground city or something exists like that. It happens in real life, those are just the hills of such and such a place. And then they discover one day they're not hills, that they're actually big earthen mounds. And wait, no, they're actually clay. They're just so old that trees and stuff are growing on. Wait, they're actually pyramids. Oh, heck, when we get the archaeology team out there, yeah, we got a ruined city. We thought it was just rolling hills. It's happened not once, but multiple times. And all, things that we thought were natural did not turn out to be natural because they're just that old. We found underground cities by accident. Some guy working on his basement. Oops. Hey, well, there's a cave down there underneath my cracked floor. What? They accidentally dropped whatever they dropped, right? It broke through. And then they crawl down there and go, oh my gosh, this is like a whole thing. That has totally happened. So that's something to think about. And I just thought that was an interesting article. I personally have never had anybody question why dungeons exist. But I know some people don't like them. And are like, they're stupid and they shouldn't even be in modern games. Well, no, because in real life, they exist. There are places that people forget exist and then they get found accidentally. So, no, they should. Everyone have a great day. Peace. And rock your games. Bye.